quite possibly the single most important skill that you can develop in life is the art of thugging it out. Figuring out how to get on the other side of every situation, regardless of the crap that you have to go through. I feel like I have a lot of experience in this sector of life. You know, when I was in high school, I had pretty much lost all my friends and then spent all my time alone until I found a group of friends and became close to them. And then, like, right when we graduated high school, they ended up taking their lives. And this, like, just psychologically destroyed me. And I remember just, like, being in my college dorm, which was, they called it the dungeon. There were like cockroaches on the floor, and it was the smallest legal room for two people, and I didn't get along with my roommate. And there's certainly worse situations to be in life. I'm not trying to act like it was the worst, but I would just sit there every night. I had insomnia because I like literally would get panic attacks all the time thinking about my friends. And I just remember this headspace where I was like, I'm not going, like, I couldn't imagine myself in even like 5 years, you know. I just couldn't. Like, it just seemed like the idea that I would be around in 5 years was like too far fetched, or, you know, not in the cards for me. But what happened was I took one step at a time and I just thugged it out, and another step at a time and just thugged it out. And everybody has their own version of this story in their own life. Everybody that clicked on this video probably has gone through a lot of shit. Sometimes the art of thugging it out can just be, how do I make it through the end of this semester with all my crappy teachers? And, you know, the art of thugging it out is not only for serious measures in life, but there is this sort of mindset of persistence that it does not matter what happens, I will see to the other side of this. That's really admirable. And when you think about it, we all have this possibility because our ancestors are all the winners, right? Like, throughout history, so many people have died off. They haven't like made it through the hard times. But if you're alive today, that means your ancestors are the ones that pushed through that. And so we have the makings of greatness in us, and the ability to really push through hard times. But a lot of it comes down to conditioning and what you believe about yourself. That's the biggest thing, is the self-belief. If you don't think that you can do something, sometimes you can do it, but most of the times you can't. If you are going through something hard and you just look at it like, let me just get through the day. Like, stop looking long-term at things. Just like, hey, I just need to put in as much effort as I can and get through the day. Eventually, those days turn into weeks, those weeks turn into months, and those months turn into a year. And now all of a sudden, you're much farther than you thought you could ever make it. And now you've established self-belief in your mind that you can do it, and it becomes easier as time goes on. But the biggest thing that has helped me, that I want to tell you guys, is it's the idea of amor fati. Like, if you just accept your fate, the good and the bad things that happen to you, and you don't wish for them to be something other than what they are, you really can make it through so much in life. You can power through some of the worst like experiences that you'll have. You just have to put your head down and work. You just have to, against all odds, like, think, okay, this is meant to happen to me, and I will get through it, and we're going to be better because of it. You just put one foot in front of the other, and you work. If you guys have ever seen that movie, The Martian, very similar to Interstellar, it stars Matt Damon. And he's this guy, he's this like astronaut who gets stuck on Mars, I think. And they think that he dies in this storm, and so his crew leaves him, but he's stuck on Mars, and it turns out he's alive. So they have to come back and get him. But it's going to take years to do that. So he has to survive on Mars for years. I mean, it's like, how does he grow food? How does he do anything? And so he just thugs it out. And at the end of the movie, there's a clip where he is like a professor. Now he's teaching. And he has this like speech, and he says, all you got to do is just focus on one problem at a time solve that, put one foot in front of the other, and then solve the next one, and then the next one, and just focus solely on the one task that you need to complete in any given time. Complete that task, and then start with the next one, and just do it over and over and over again. And that's what thugging it out really is. I, as of recently, have been obsessed with people that have, like, more in the Middle Ages, that have gone through like some of like the worst, like, not just physically grueling but mentally grueling parts of life, and they somehow, against all odds, stand tall at the end of it. And I think about Nero, who he was a Roman emperor who he hated Jesus, and what he would do is he would burn Christians as decorations for parties. And there are so many stories of these people that went through like stuff that is so unimaginable in our minds that like is really so much worse, and people like came out on the other end of it, right? Like there are so many stories of people that get tortured or they lose everything, and somehow you see them alive a decade later, and they're just putting their head down, they continue to work, and it's the human spirit. It's inspiring, and you have to understand that you have those capabilities too, even though you don't think that you do. But the key, once again, is just focus on what is at hand right now. Complete that, and then put in an honest effort. Do it over and over and over again. Eventually, you win. For example, this is, like, once again, I said the art of thugging it out isn't just major things, it's also minor things. So, like, with the social media, like, every day I'm like, hey, I want to, post 10 videos. Every day I get up, I'm like, bro, I gotta record 10 videos today. Like, what, how can I even think of, like, 10 things to talk about? Like, I don't even know what to do. And it just seems like my back's against the wall, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just focus on what is the first video I have to make. Okay, well, I can do one video, I can do that, so then I can do 2. And if I can do 2, I can double that and do 4. And if I can do 4, that means I can do 8. And if I'm 8, I'm basically already at 10, so let's just finish it off. And every single day, this is the mentality that I go through. If you are like, okay, how do I grow my career? Well, can you get to the position that's just one position higher than where you're at? Can you get promoted just once? Well, yeah, sure, I can do that. Well, what did you have to do to get there? Well, I put in this amount of work. Okay, do that work and then get promoted. Now you're there. Well, now it's reasonable that you could get to the next position. And if you could get to that position, that means you're 2 positions from where you started. And it's this mentality that all of the greats have. Like Elon Musk, like, what he'll do is he'll set a big goal that he wants to hit in like a year's time, and then he relentlessly pursues the minor points of growth that he needs to hit every single day, and he makes sure to just hit those every single day, no exception. And then this compounds over time, and eventually you're where you want to be in life. And that is the true art of thugging it out right there. The human spirit combined with taking action on the small things and just repeating that. And it's not fun, guys. It's not going to be fun. But if you want to thug your way all the way to the top, that's how it's going to be. The less that you thug, the more that you get. The more that you thug, the more that you get. The less that you thug, the less that you get. The more that you thug, the more that you get. All right? Apply this concept for like a month maybe, and you're already going to notice like huge changes. And that is what it means to be human, and that's what it means to go through hard things, and that's what it means to get through the minor things. And eventually this creates your character, it builds your arc. It's the hero's journey. You're climbing up a mountain, and on the other end of it is all the glory that you want. But for now, head down, work hard, focus on the task at hand. Thank you guys for watching.